Well, the sun is out, the season has definitely started, although admittedly there has been a little bit of dicey weather at the start of the season. But the sun is out again today, so I figured what better time than to take Lauren somewhere she's never been before. Well, this is certainly different. I've been up to this reservoir twice before, both times on my 125. And being on this bike, it's just, well, if I'm honest, it's just easier. Easier in some respects, but my concentration levels are a lot higher because of the increased power, speed, weight, etc. But having done this journey twice before, I didn't think it would be any different, but actually it's very different. And I do really enjoy riding up to the reservoir. It's a nice ride and it's a lovely place to go, but you have to be a little bit careful about when you go, because the road up to the reservoir can be a little bit dodgy. In fact, on the 125, the first time I went up to the reservoir, on the way back we had a little bit of a slip out. The back wheel slipped out on some mud. We could have ended up in a bush, but fortunately we were able to recover it. But ever since then I've been very, very mindful as to when I head up to the reservoir, because if it's been raining in the slightest, if it's the slightest bit wet, you really don't want to go up there. Although again, in a 125, roads like this are easier. I mean, this doesn't look too bad at the minute, but the slightest bit of mud and it's like taking a sports bike off-road. Be like another, I mean, look at that tarmac just disappeared then. It's like another adventure, like another episode of Adventure Sport Bike. Hello dog. Hello dog. I think this dog isn't sure what to make of me. Don't suppose car drivers see too many bikes actually coming up here. It is definitely one to concentrate on, this road. It's alright from here. From here onwards it's kind of alright. Little bit of mud. You definitely can't ride in the middle. You know, you've got this little, what, maybe 12, 18 inches of tarmac to keep your wheels on. But it's not too bad now. There you go, Lauren. You can stay in gear, because I don't trust you not to roll off this slight hill. Please don't bury yourself in the ground. There we go. She doesn't appear to have buried a kickstand too much. And on the subject of kickstands, folks, please do check your kickstands. In particular, the bolts. This particular bike, my main bolt on my kickstand the other day was almost all of the way threaded out. It was clearly trying to leave. Luckily I found it, got that refitted with some thread lock. But yeah, check your kickstands. Other than that, I am enjoying riding this bike. I do get a little bit of wrist ache, admittedly, because of the position of the bars. A little bit of backache because, well, it's a sports bike and you're hunched over. But these Street Triple rear sets have made a noticeable difference.
I am more comfortable on this bike. It's never going to be 100%, but I am a lot more comfortable on this bike with these street triple rear sets. And on the subject of street triples, I do find myself eyeing them up a little bit. I can't help it. You know, I get a little bit of wrist ache, a little bit of backache. I wonder, would a more upright riding position be more suited to me? And if so, is a street triple not the next natural progression? Hey, I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm doing it, but I do find myself looking at them. But yes, I'm enjoying riding this bike. We tolerate the wrist ache and the backache because it's not too bad, and we enjoy riding the bike. The exhaust is still too loud, although on that subject, a couple of my viewers have commented on this exhaust and suggested that I get a baffle for it, and it wasn't something that I'd thought of. And then 2 weeks ago, I met another one of my viewers at Paint and Bike Night, and he has a Daytona 675 and an Arrow exhaust, and he also has the baffle for the Arrow exhaust, and he's not using it. Now, he doesn't want to sell it, but he did offer to lend me his baffle so that I can try it out and see if it makes the noticeable difference that I'm looking for, to see if that baffle quietens the exhaust down to the levels that I'm looking for, and if so, I then know that it's worth me looking for one. So Mark, I will definitely be taking you up on that generous offer. So the water level is actually pretty high today, and there's a little bit of wind, so we have some natural water movement, which I've not seen before. The last twice that I've been here, this has been like, well, it's been like glass. Now, I've made 2 videos at this location in the past, at these 2 reservoirs, and recently I shared with someone those 2 videos, and I got some nice feedback on those videos, and it made me want to come back. But the weather was terrible, and I've had to wait. And I've waited 3 months, and the wait was worth it. I think that we all need somewhere to go, whether that be the beach, the woods, a reservoir, or a combination. Somewhere that we can go to just relax, get away from life for a moment, get away from the corporate bullshit that some of us are fed on a daily basis. And hey, who knows, maybe in that moment of relaxation, your problems, well, they're still going to be your problems, but maybe they will make more sense. Maybe they won't be as gigantic as you thought they were. Me, I need somewhere to go where I can make sense of the world, because the world doesn't make sense to me. Never has done.
Well, Trenchford, thank you. Tottyford, thank you. It was, of course, a pleasure once again.